Hello, and welcome to episode number 83 of WrestleRotica, the podcast that combines wrestling and erotica. This week we have 3 stories to share with you. The first story is entitled, Tori Has a Little Foot Fetish. In this story, Tori Wilson and Stacy Keibler are cleaning up after a show and getting ready to travel together. As they clean up, Tori asks Stacy if she can play with her feet. Stacy agrees, which then leads to more than just foot play. The second story is entitled Pumice. In this story, Dean Ambrose is a huge foot fanatic for all sexes. Today, he has the lucky opportunity to spend time worshiping the gorgeous feet of Alexa Bliss. The third and final story is entitled Snitsky's Reward. In this story, after helping Edge win a match against Kane, Snitsky is awarded to the services of Lita's feet while Edge watches. Without further ado, let's get to this week's stories. This story is entitled Tori Has a Little Foot Fetish, and it was written by WowEffa.com user Peace Allen. After WWE Raw, Tori met up with Stacy and told her she would catch up with her in a few minutes so they could go to the airport. But Stacy says she will go with her to get changed as well. Then they can leave. Tori agrees and they go to the locker room. After they get there, they take off their clothes and head towards the shower. They turn on the water and let it drop off their hot, sexy bodies. As they are taking their shower, Tori tells Stacy she likes her feet a lot and that they are so nice and beautiful. Stacy says, "Thanks!" And they bathe themselves. Tori goes to where Stacy is and kisses her full on the mouth and says, "I'm sorry. I just couldn't help myself. You're so hot. And well, you want to fuck?" Stacy, "I'm not sure you will have to convince me." Tori, "Okay." Tori kisses Stacy. Again, this kissing her longer and running her hands through Stacy's big, sexy ass. As Tori is doing this, Stacy is moaning. Finally, Tori stops and asks Stacy if she wants to have sex now. Stacy says, "You bet your fine ass I do." Tori, "Let's get out of the shower and do it on the couch before we get all wrinkled." Stacy, "Okay, good idea." After saying that, Tori and Stacy shut off the water in the shower and walk out onto the couch and begin to make out again. This time Stacy grabs Tori's big ass as they make out. Tori then pushes Stacy away and asks her if she can suck on her toes, cause she has a serious foot fetish and she can't help but suck on Stacy's nice, sexy toes. Stacy, "Okay, you better be able to suck toes good, or I'll never you suck them again." "Just kidding." Tori, "Don't joke with me." After saying that, Tori puts her mouth on Stacy's big toes and starts to suck on it like a mini cock. And at the same time, Stacy is enjoying watching Tori suck on her toes. After a few minutes, she starts to lick all of Stacy's right foot, then moves to the left and does the same thing. Then she tells Stacy to lay down so they can get in a 69. Stacy agrees and lies down. Then Tori straddles her and begins to lick Stacy's clean-shaved clit. At the same time, Stacy moves her lips to Tori's shaved clit and begins to suck on it, making Tori moan and beg for more. Licking Stacy's clit faster for each time, Stacy made her moan. After a few minutes of being in a 69, Stacy asked Tori if she could suck her toes, cause she has never done it before. Tori agrees and gets off Stacy and puts off foot to Stacy's cute mouth. Stacy takes the initiative and sticks Tori's big toe in her mouth. and begins to suck and moans as she is sucking on Tori's big toe. In the same time, Tori tells Stacy she is doing a good job, but wants her to stop and fuck her pussy. Stacy stops and says, "With what?" Tori, "With your big toe." Stacy, "Are you serious?" Tori, "You bet your ass I'm serious."
Yes! Yes! Yes!
"Now fuck me." Stacy, "Okay, I guess." After saying that, Tori sticks her big ass in the air, and her moist pussy is in front of Stacy. After looking at Tori's shaved clit for a sec or two, Stacy sticks her big toe up to Tori's clit, and begins to push it deeper and deeper, till it's all in at the same time. Tori is moaning and begging for more, and Stacy goes faster and faster with each stroke, fucking Tori's moist pussy. After fucking her pussy with her toe for 10 minutes, Tori came on Stacy's foot. Then she took her tongue and licked her own come off Stacy's sexy foot. After that, Tori says she wants to make Stacy come, so she tells Stacy to turn around. Stacy does, of course. Then Tori sticks her face in between Stacy's sexy ass cheeks, then starts to eat Stacy's sexy ass. This makes Stacy moan very loud. Then Tori stops and says she'll be right back. She has to get something. After about 2 minutes, she came back with a strap on and told Stacy where does she want it, in the ass or in her clit. Stacy says her ass, then eat her out to make her come. Tori says, "Okay," and goes behind Stacy and stuck the strap on into Stacy's sexy ass. Stacy yelps as it enters her cute ass. Then after a few seconds, she begins to moan. Then after a minute or two, she moans louder and louder and louder. Then Tori stops and goes under Stacy and sticks her tongue into Stacy's clit and begins to eat her out. Then after about 30 seconds, Stacy comes all over Tori's face and tits. Tori licks all the cum off her tits. Then Stacy kisses Tori and licks her cum off Tori's face. Then they make out for a few more minutes. Then they get dressed, kiss one final time, and head out of the arena together, holding each other's asses as they leave the arena. The end. This story is entitled Pumice, and it was written by Archive of Our Own user, Sappho is Burning. Dean likes to play with Alexa's feet. Dean will literally worship any part that any of his partners, past or present, gets off on, no matter the partner. Oh yeah! He's most used to worshipping cocks, and bodies in general, but occasionally hair worshipping. But he does really like feet.
Please, let me touch your feet.
Women's feet or men's feet. He likes one with a nice shape, clean, well taken care of, or alternatively, ones he can help take care of. He's good with a pumice stone, and not many men on the roster are. He's a steady hand with a nail polish brush, but he'd rather just lick you up and down, and rub you up and down the arch of your foot, and the sole, digging his thumbs into the sensitive areas, and rubbing around the tight edge of the heel that gets sore from the hard impact of all the work they do. That night he crouched at the foot of the bed as Alexa lazily extended her right foot toward him, pointing her toe. He felt a thrill go through his body, straight to his cock. Seeing her there all spread out, black panties, and one of his old merch hoodies because she was cold. Her skin soft and gently tan all over, and her feet neat and small and cared for, like someone with anxiety sometimes does. There aren't that many body parts of your body you can sand down if you're mad at yourself, that you can take what it is functionally a Dremel to, that you can rub a metal file against, that doesn't end in tears or the hospital. Feet can take a lot of abuse. If you wanted to tear your skin off, sometimes you can just work on your feet. Dean knew Alexis Dill. At this point, practically knew it the first time he saw her. Takes one to know one. Pain isn't weakness leaving the body. It's the self leaving the body. Trying to get away from yourself to stop the nagging voices telling you to drive into the river. Or hurt somebody, or whatever. Wrestling's great for that. He grasped her foot with both hands, running his thumbs up to the bottom and then down again. Up and down. She moaned. God, I'm tired, she said. This feels so good. When have I ever taken bad care of you? Dean asked. He tried to be subtle about getting a sniff. But it's hard to smell someone's feet without being noticed. Alexa just grinned, haughty and mock-entitled. He'd never met a less entitled girl in his life. She never complained about stopping at 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven, not even once. Though she also knew he never watched her eat or asked any questions about food at all. He nuzzled her big toe with his nose, and they both laughed. Dean shook his head to clear the cobwebs creeping in, the way his mind always wanders, and he sucked her big toe into his mouth, suddenly finding focus. It was soft and the toenail was neatly trimmed, and it tasted amazing. Clean, but with that skin salt that never goes away from someone's foot, even if they've just taken a damn bath. Now she moaned in earnest. Who could help it when having someone work your feet felt so good? Dean highly recommended it, and not just to people he was actually trying to get into bed. The world would be better if everyone had someone else to worship their feet. Who thinks about them, cares for them, tells them they're doing a good job? Who loves a foot? Dean sucked harder and massaged the rest of Alexa's foot with his hands. She kicked her other foot forward and propped it up on Dean's chest. Soon he was rubbing each foot with his hands, while licking and sucking just the one. He licked every toe, and with a wide, wet tongue, he swiped all the way up from heel to tip. He kissed her instep reverently. He heard the telltale buzz of Alexa firing up her vibrator, which she needed to orgasm. As much as Dean had believed her past lovers had just been underachievers, he could eat her out for an hour, but the big finish was only forthcoming with mechanical stimulation. He tried not to take it too personally. Dean, she moaned. Suck harder. Not one to ignore direction from a girl once it's given, he went back to her toes. He let go of her left foot with his right hand and slipped it inside his boxer briefs. This would probably be over quickly. God, Alexa was beautiful and a little scary. One of his favorite combinations. She was from Ohio, and she wasn't afraid to bust his balls a little. And she tasted so good everywhere. All over. He inhaled deeply and sucked harder, working every inch of toe he could with his tongue, feeling grounded and grateful. Alexa wiggled and thrashed while Dean clung on to her. He looked up with supplicant eyes, wide and lovely, and she grinned and suddenly threw her head back, drawing her left foot up to her chest and coming like a lovely, terrifying animal who had Dean forever in her clutches. But Dean didn't let up on her foot, a string of drool escaping his mouth, and slowly pulling at the base of her big toe. She keened, more and more aware of the sensitive skin down there, being wetly pleasured by Dean. He stroked himself harder, hunching his shoulders. His hair fell in his face, hiding his eyes from Alexa's gaze. But every time he stole a glance upward, she was there, seeing him and blessing him with her admiration. He sucked a breath in through his clenched teeth, and with a grunt and a moan, he was coming to. Hard, inside his underwear, soaking it through. He sat back on his heels, pulling away finally from the golden foot. The sole, the gentle curve, the delicate flat parts, the round parts, the clean parts, the dirty parts, especially the dirty parts. They're all dirty parts. Alexa lay on her side now, her underwear still pushed down her thighs, her face slunk down into the sweatshirt she was borrowing, permanently as far as Dean cared. Somebody cute and naked could have the shirt off his back, because what's cuter than someone cute wearing your clothes? Her hair had come wild and sprung in a few different directions upon the pillow. Dean wiggled his ass to get his boxers off, wadded them up and wiped down with them again, and tossed them on the floor.
He shoots! He scores!
He crawled up to lie next to Alexa naked, but for a shirt with her name on it too, in red, dripping letters. She made him feel hungry, thirsty, like he was worthy of getting to eat, getting to drink. Gonna let me kiss you after that? He asked bashfully, making it a joke rather than a real question. Of course, she said, drawing her eyebrows together. We aren't even weird. He smiled through the sudden emotional nakedness and leaned in for the kiss, her face meeting his, their lips locking. He tasted her lip balm and she got the salt of her own skin, and he felt her surge against him, hungry for more of it. They kissed hard and lazily. There was tongue. He wrapped his arms around her, over the soft hoodie, and pulled them close. She shimmied her underwear all the way off, and they lay nestled together, sated. She rolled so he was spooning her now, and he drew them together, burying his face in her hair. They woke up early the next morning and showered together. And Alexa stooped to the ground to wash Dean's feet. She hissed as she kissed one protectively. You should let me work on these for you. You of all people. Some things are easier to give than to receive, he said, trying to hold still, while she touched him so tenderly. Why do you want to touch my old feet anyway? You don't have to do that. She rolled her eyes so hard, he felt a wave of her gaze. You know why. He sighed. There were a lot of reasons why. He reached down to run his fingers through her wet hair, not sure how he felt about her kneeling at his feet. Throw in a pedicure? He asked hopefully. You got a deal, she said, rising. And if anyone in the locker room noticed his two-tone paint job when they hit the showers after the next show, they didn't dare mention it. But they might have dared be jealous that Dean had someone to love a part of him that much. Maybe even all of him. The end. This story is entitled Snitsky's Reward, and it was written by WowFA.com user Edgehead101. July 11th, 2005. After a match against Kane, where he successfully helped Edge defeat Kane, Gene Snitsky made his way towards Edge's locker room with a big grin on his face. Without bothering to knock, Snitsky entered to find Edge sitting on the couch with his slutty girlfriend Lita as they celebrate the victory. Edge gets up from his seat and claps Snitsky on the back. Great stuff, man! We were just, waiting for you, he says. Lita looks slightly uncomfortable as she is barefoot and wearing black leather pants and a black top which shows a lot of cleavage. Snitsky grins as he sees Lita. Did those toes miss me? Lita manages a slutty smirk as she says, They were waiting to reward you. Edge, wearing just blue jeans, says, Well, Gene, I promised you some time with my slut's feet if you helped me, and you've deserved it, man. Knock yourself out. Snitsky grabs a chair and sits in front of the couch where Lita is sitting. Edge, meanwhile, sits on the other sofa, watching with interest and amusement. Snitsky wastes no time and grabs Lita's right foot. Lita's toenails are painted a slutty red color, and Snitsky laughs maniacally as he licks Lita's pale, creamy sides, leaving a trace of his saliva on her sole. "You like that?" asks Edge, as Snitsky licks Lita's soles again. "Oh, fucking yeah!" Snitsky laughs. "Well, would you look at that? Lita's got the best mouth,
Yes!
best pussy,
Yes!
and best tits in the WWE.
No!
Now, she's got the best feet too.
Yes!
And she's my hot, obedient little slut," Edge cockily says. Snitsky has now moved on to licking the soles of Lita's left foot, also wetting them with his saliva. "How does it feel, offering your feet to another guy in exchange for a favor, babe?" asks Edge. Lita smiles and says, "Makes me feel like a hot, dirty slut." "And that's what you are." Edge laughs as Snitsky nods his head in agreement. Snitsky has now started putting Lita's toes in his mouth, sucking on each of her long, pale toes for a few seconds. "Oh yeah! Suck my toes!" Lita moans. She smirks when she notices Snitsky getting a hard-on from her comment. And so she continues. "You want my feet on your cock, Gene?" Snitsky has an amazed expression on his face, as he eagerly replies, "You bet I do! And after you do that, you're going to suck his dick too, aren't you, babe?" Edge says as he comes over and digs his hand through Lita's red hair. "Of course I will, baby!" she replies obediently. Snitsky begins lowering his trunks as Lita watches warily. "All right, I'm ready," Snitsky says impatiently as he rubs his hands together. Lita cautiously moves her feet towards Snitsky's average-sized cock. She then begins rubbing it on his cock. Snitsky groans as Lita's feet service him. "Oh, fuck," he says. He doesn't last long and comes on Lita's feet. She stares disgusted, while Edge bursts into laughter. Snitsky is still panting. "That was great! Lita loved it," Edge says. "Oh, I sure did," Lita says as she rolls her eyes. "Come on, babe. You know what to do next," Edge says, referring to her sucking Snitsky off. Lita steps down from the couch onto the floor as she sits up on her knees in order to give Snitsky a blowjob. She first teases him with her hands. "Ah! Oh yeah! Suck my dick!" Snitsky groans in pleasure. "You got it!" Lita says. With a slutty smirk, she starts sucking on his cock. As she gives Snitsky a blowjob, the rated R superstar Edge kneels down behind her and slides her black pants down, revealing her hot, slutty ass. Edge squeezes Lita's right ass cheek as she expertly sucks on Snitsky's cock. "How'd you like his cock on your feet, babe?" Edge says as he slaps Lita's right ass cheek hard. "Oh, babe! It was great!" Lita moans as she slurps on Snitsky's cock. "Where do you think it ranks on the sluttiest thing you've ever done? 115th? Edge laughs as he slaps her left ass cheek harder, which makes her jolt forward and gag slightly on Snitsky's cock. "Not that hard, babe!" She smirks back before going down on Snitsky again. "I didn't think so, you dirty fucking whore," Edge says as he spanks Lita's hot juicy ass a few more times, leaving a red imprint of his hand on her ass. Snitsky then comes inside Lita's mouth, and she swallows all of it down. Snitsky then takes off Lita's top and starts squeezing her stunning bare tits, as Edge removes his jeans and drives his cock into Lita's pussy. "Oh, fuck yeah, baby!" Lita moans as Edge spears her cunt. Snitsky is sucking on Lita's left tit, flicking his tongue against her nipple, which arouses her. Yeah! Take my dick in your slutty pussy, you dirty little slut! Edge grunts as he continues to fuck Lita, driving his cock harder into her hot, loose pussy. Snitsky smacks Lita's right tit a couple of times before he pulls his trousers back up and announces that he's leaving. If you ever need a favor again, I'd be more than willing for another shot at those beauties, Snitsky says with a huge grin on his face as he stares at Lita's cum-covered feet one last time. You got it, buddy! Edge laughs back, watching Snitsky exit. Edge takes his cock out of Lita's pussy and blows his load all over her hot, slutty ass. 10 minutes later, Lita's lips are wrapped around Edge's cock. Edge's hands are wrapped around her head as she sucks his cock. Oh, fuck! You're glad this is my cock and not Snitsky's, aren't you, baby? Edge says as he pulls her hair back to stop her sucking on his cock for a moment. Baby, he was disgusting, she says with a pout. And that's why you loved it, didn't you? Edge says. You know me too well, baby, she laughs. Get ready to have my cum all over your face, babe, Edge says. He then shoots his load all over Lita's slutty face. He slides his cock over her cheeks and smears his cum on her cheeks and lips. You're such a fucking slut, Edge proudly says. Lita laughs. That I am! The end. Thank you for listening to episode 83 of WrestleRotica. We hope that you enjoyed this week's stories. If you enjoyed this week's stories, please be sure to like, review, and subscribe to us on iTunes. Visit us elsewhere online, including Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, and as always, our official website, WrestleRoticaPod.com. Thank you and have a good week.